All right, guys, we got a performance review on the weirdest shoe for 2021. And they're still good though. Like, these are surprisingly good. Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got the performance review on these bad boys right here. This is the Brandblack Rare Metal 2. It was a huge departure from the first one. It's such a crazy difference, and it's a really interesting shoe. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. The one thing that I will say though is that these guys were only tested outdoors, and I did start the testing in a different colorway. I did give that colorway away to a friend of mine. I did buy these because I really love this colorway. This is a collaboration between a great comic artist, Bernard Chang, and Brandblack, obviously. So if you missed out on this colorway, I hope that you didn't. I think that these are great. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this traction. This is crazy. This, for one, is one piece. All right, so the wrap tech or whatever that they're calling it is really weird. I still really can't get over it. Like, it's such a strange way to do a shoe, and I am just really happy that it worked. So this is Vibram or Vibram rubber, however it is that you like to say it. The traction pattern itself, it reminds me of two things. The first thing is the J Crossover 1 from Brandblack, and it's one of the best traction setups of all time, as well as it's a Brandblack shoe, but it's got the triple B's on it. It's the big baller brand. It's the Lonzo ZO2.19 or whatever. We got a performance review on those. This traction is just like that as well. Again, that shoe was fantastic. I know that the triple B branding made people be like, no, these are crap and all that stuff. But again, once you try it, man, you really don't know. So this right here just gripped so well. It's got like this weird ripping screech sound even outside, which is really crazy. On top of that, the rubber is extremely durable, which I was very surprised with. So it's a very thin setup. Like, you could see how thick this rubber is just by the lining, because it wraps up the sidewall. It's the midsole and the outsole all together, and it just worked really well. You get consistent coverage on top of that because of this X pattern. It is the same way linearly and laterally, so you're not getting any inconsistent areas whatsoever. You know exactly what to expect no matter what you're doing or when. There are some indoor performance reviews on these that I have seen though, and they have said that they work amazingly inside. So I recommend you checking out those other reviews if you're an indoor only player. This is just from an outdoor perspective because I tested these before I was able to get back into a gym. Now, the midsole or the cushion is something that you actually can't see. It's inside of the rubber wrap, and it's what they call supercritical Jetlon. So if you're a fan of Brandblack, you already know that Jetlon is their proprietary foam blend. Basically, it's a really bouncy version of EVA. This guy right here, the supercritical stuff, is very similar to Skechers Burst. 361 also uses it in the Aaron Gordon shoes, and I actually just saw an Anta shoe that is coming that has a full supercritical setup. I can't remember what they called it though. But yeah, so apparently this is very popular. It's a nitrogen-based.
Almost.
It's not nitrogen-based, but they make it with nitrogen. We actually had a Q&A, a one-on-one between me and the designer and owner of Brandblack, who's the co-owner. His name is David, and we actually have that full interview on the WearTesters Instagram. He explains in detail what all of this is and how they make it. So if you're interested in that, go for it. I'm just gonna tell you how it feels, and it feels great. This is one of the lightest shoes, despite how chunky they look. And for it being such a light shoe, I can't believe how well cushioned that they are, especially that the cushion is wrapped in rubber. You would think that it wouldn't have anywhere to expand, but you can actually feel it when it does because the rubber sidewalls are so thin. So yeah, being outdoors tested only, I thought that I was gonna be in the knee department, and I wasn't. Now, the materials are where things get kind of interesting because I don't love the materials, as you guys know. I love leathers, suedes, nubucks, all that stuff. This has a couple of synthetic patches that do a decent job of mimicking leather, but they're really in the reinforcement areas like the eye stay so that they don't rip through. What we do have here though is a 4-layered system. Going from the pair that I originally played in, which was like that black colorway, to these, I forgot that you need braking time. They are a little stiff to start. I'm glad that I actually had gotten a new pair to play in for the B-roll shots because I had already forgotten. They were just like really comfortable shoe at the point in time that I had already broken them in. So when these came in, I put them on. I was like, damn, I forgot I had to break these joints in. So yeah, you will have to break them in. It's a 4-layered fuse system. It's a really thick area in the forefoot, and then they reinforce that along the collar so you have a little bit of extra support and things like that when you yank your laces up. This is such a weird shoe. It really is. I can't believe that they work as well as they do. Can they see the Rare Metal back there? Yeah. So that top shoe right there, that's actually the colorway that I designed. These feel nothing like those. They really don't. Like, it's such a strange, like, I couldn't believe it. Now, as far as fit is concerned, they do fit true to size, so that's exactly what I would recommend. There was a couple of areas that I was worried about, one of which was the rubber sidewall. I thought that it might pinch my feet because you do sit right in there, so you sit right along that top line that you can see where it starts to roll out and everything. Luckily, that's not the case. Again, all you need to do is just break in that upper and it feels fine, but there was no pinching or anything like that. One thing though is that, and I got this in both shoes, where my right shoe fit me perfectly, my left shoe had a little bit of a weird like heel pop, so I don't know if it's because my feet are slightly different size than the other, which is possible. I think that it might be a my foot issue versus a sizing issue, but this is a little bit low. I do lace them all the way up to the top. You can try this. The laces just aren't long enough to really reach down there and then still go up to the top. So if you wanted to, you could actually change the laces out to something a little bit longer. That way you can utilize all of the lacing areas. This right here though was intended for lifestyle and not performance, just to be warned. So if you were to lace them up through there and it ripped, that might be why. Other than that, I thought that they were great on lateral movements. I didn't have any stability issues in that ankle, despite having the left heel feel like I was popping out of it sometimes, and it did get better the more that I broke the shoe in. I think it's because it was like really stiff, and again, my foot size thing. Overall, I think that the sizing is good. I do think that this could have been slightly better just so that I didn't notice it, but I think that that could only be really fixed with a slightly higher back. The support on these guys is real interesting because again, it's rubber wrapped, so that is the whole support. It only flexes where you need it. It's so weird, and they are stiff. Like, I cannot move them the way that I might be able to, like the GT cuts or whatever. This whole thing acts as torsion. On top of that, you sit in it, so it acts as a sidewall. On top of that, it's pretty fat and wide, so that acts as the stability and the outrigger. The sidewall also acts as the heel counter, and there's another one inside of the heel as well. So with that being said, I think that this is a fantastic shoe, especially for what it looks like. Like, this does not look like a basketball shoe. There's nothing about this where I look at it, I'm like, wow, a new basketball shoe. That looks amazing. No, I see this and I'm like, wow, a boat shoe that you can play basketball with. Amazing. Now, we've been doing something new with our recent performance reviews, and that's asking our WearTesters Discord community to ask a few questions. We feature them here on the video, and hopefully we pick questions that elaborate more on what was already discussed in the previous areas of the performance reviews. So with that being said, what do we've got?
Liar Go Higher has a two-part question.
Okay.
What is the current comparison or existing shoe comparison for the Rare Metal 2, and how would you rank supercritical foam to other cushioning setups?
Supercritical cushioning, I'll cover that first. It's pretty much right in line with what you'd expect from other foam compounds that have a lot of impact protection, but also a little bit of bounce. The one thing that I've noticed though, every time that we see this type of material used in a basketball shoe is it's heavily caged. They did that in the Aaron Gordon shoe, the 361 shoe. They're doing it here. So that's the only thing where it's like, I think that it might be super critical to the point to where if you leave it open, it might be unstable. We'll see if they are able to fix that in the years coming and everything like that, or maybe this will be a foam system that we never see again. I really don't know. As far as comparing this to anything, I really can't. It's very lightweight. It's very like deceptively supportive. The traction's crazy. The cushion is very nice despite not being able to see it. The only thing is that they're a little stiff, so it reminds me a little bit of like an original Hyperfuse type of shoe where you got to really break it in. Otherwise, the only minor comparison I can say is to a Kyrie, the rounded bottom, where like you just feel like you could just move, you know what I mean? That's the only thing, but even then it's very minor. Overall, I'd say that this shoe might be all on its own in the basketball category. There's everything kind of like feels like a basketball shoe, and then there's this guy over here.
He's outside the Venn diagram.
Yes.
Mr. Mooey would like to know, how many different ways did you try to lace them and what worked the best?
I only laced them the one way, and I originally had thought that these were for performance, but in our one-on-one interview with David, he had explained that this was a lifestyle feature, so I was like, oh, that's cool. So I just immediately took them out and I just went straight up. So that's all I did.
Oh, they came laced through there?
Yeah, they came laced casually. So like it dropped down one and came up, and then there was the little lace lock. Because according to David, he wanted to design a shoe the way that shoes used to be, like when he fell in love with shoes, like during the Air Jordan 4 era, so way back in '89. So that shoe, he added the lace lock, which he says was a casual feature. And then he also added this guy right there for a casual feature as well. That way you can like swag the laces out any way that you'd like. So that you could lace them like that performance-wise, but the laces are short, so I don't see how you would go down, up, and then wrap around. But yeah, I only went the regular way.
All right, this one's the last one, and it's something that I've always wondered too. Eli #1 Cosmic Unity Stan would like to know.
I think he likes the Cosmic Unity.
Maybe, just a little bit. Why are Brandblack shoes not black?
Color-wise?
Yeah, do you know the reason behind the name of the brand? Have you ever asked?
I don't think I have, actually. It is kind of a good question. They do make black colorways.
No, I know, but like even then, their pop of color has always been blue.
I know, they used to have the blue bottoms,
Yes.
which were missing. I do not know why they're called Brand Black. You might need to ask him that. I cannot answer this question.
I hope he jumps into the comment section and answers it.
I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or a name or anything, but I'm sure that somebody will ping him on Instagram, and he's usually active on there. He does reply to people. So yeah, there's always that. That's a good question though. I don't know why I never even thought about that.
Oh, it's been bothering me for like 10 years, but I've just never asked.
Why didn't you ask me so that I could have asked him then? It's never even crossed my mind. But anyways, that pretty much takes care of it for the performance review on the Rare Metal 2 by Brandblack. Again, this is a really good shoe that's very deceptive looking. It just really doesn't look like a basketball shoe. So I guess if you're looking for something like that you could wear on and off court, this would be a good option. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all of our WearTesters Discord community members that pitched in and helped us ask some really great questions. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Make sure that you head over to WearTesters.com, link in the description box below. That's where you'll be able to see their scorecard with their price, their weight, and their scores, obviously. So with that being said, thank you once again, and until next time, guys, have a good one.